Hello.
Hello.
Well, how are you doing?
Oh, good evening. Here we are in the forest.
It's,
The forest of dreams.
we've been busy. We've been busy tweaking away and rebuilding the show
Tweaking?
stream.
Yes. Yeah, welcome, folks. If there's anyone there, which there isn't, here we go. We're going to play in some Moho tonight for a little while. Then we're going to switch over to Blender to do something else. We're welcome. It looks like the same forest. It looks like the same forest, but it's a different forest. Oh.
Yeah. I hit
so
still getting the switches set up. So
we go. See, we've got all new camera. We got what is that? That's a drone you've got going there?
Yeah,
is that how you did that?
Forest drone.
Yeah, okay.
One of the hunters in it, I think.
Yeah, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a little bit of work on a squirrel we've got animating. And then later on, we're going to do a little intro sequence, aren't we? And we're going to do some storyboards on that in Grease Pencil in Blender. A little bit of an experiment.
And hopefully our audio's coming through a lot better than before. We've got everything set up to be processing and doing things a little smoother, hopefully. So, yeah, we're going to be doing the storyboarding, and we're going to be slowly building up the show, because there's going to be more to come, and it's really, a lot of this is sort of placeholder at this point, right, Chucky?
Yeah, we're just getting things started, and we've had a little bit of a hiatus. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Hiatus. That sounds like something you'd go to the doctor for. Doctor, do you want to see my hiatus? Anyway, I saw it. I saw my doctor tonight at a party. He didn't examine me. It would have been the wrong thing to do.
Two very, very different emotions when you walk into work and everyone's coding, if you're a software engineer versus if you're a doctor.
Right. Yeah, very different. All right. So, what do you feel about jumping into?
Let's
the zone. Let's have a look. What are we doing tonight? We got no real plan much or any. Oh well, here we go. We're inside Moho, and we've got this little squirrel, and he's going to be able to talk for a chat later. We're going to have a guest who's going to explain some stuff that we don't know. I'm learning, and the squirrel is wise. And can you see how wise that squirrel is? Yeah, and he's going to teach me some stuff about Blender.
Well, there's some really cool stuff that Blender's working on, and I think it's only going to get cooler over the next couple of years. Like, well, even less time than that, but because it already does a bunch of neat stuff now. But it's definitely expanding.
Mm-hmm. It's good to have a lot of tools up your sleeve. And, or in a bag is normally better, but up your sleeve will do.
Well, let's see. You're doing some timeline stuff. Let's just move us out of the way. There we go. Now
all right. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
So this is Moho. Moho's great for this kind of thing, isn't it? And what I'm doing here is just working on the tail is so wrong, and I tried to use some dynamics, but it's just a little bit unpredictable the way that's things going. So not going to get too bogged down in that. And I might go off there. And in fact, I'm going to just go and play This is going to sound wrong. It's going to sound wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to play with his nut right here because there's no shadow on the nut. And I don't like this arm either. This was drawn in a bitmap program, Clip Studio. And I can see I've got a little bit of a fudge there. I could go back to the program and fix that. And then reopen the PSD. I wonder. Or should I rebuild the arm?
I mean,
to rebuild the arm.
Yeah, I think, it's a pretty simple arm. It's a pretty simple vector shape. I think you probably just rebuild it, match the color, and
yeah. For now, I'm going to rebuild this acorn because it hasn't got a shadow on it. Oh, hang on, it should have. Where's the shadow? Is it? There is shade. Why can't I see it? Mask this layer. Acorn color. There's something missing. Why don't I just make a new shade layer out of a vector and see if that'll work? Because I'll tell you, because the acorn line is separate and we can do that. Easy. Excellent. So kind of just winging it, totally winging it here. In ToonFeed.
Unplanned streams.
Yeah, well, it is all a little bit spontaneous today. Testing out the new.
If you call
system.
8 hours of preparation spontaneous, then yeah.
Well, you all right? Okay. I was not entirely sure about doing anything tonight, but
it's fair. That's fair.
It's happening. It's happening. So, what is happening here? I've used the mask. I mean, everyone, if there's anyone watches this later on, this channel's not going to really be about tutorials. In fact, I think it might be more about me learning. They might have some lessons that people might pick up, but I'm not going to be sitting here lecturing you guys like some people do.
I mean, if enough people ask and they say, "Hey,
can
if
you ask?
Yeah, if enough people ask,
if you're in here
one.
and you ask,
yeah,
totally. I will tell anyone what they want to know if I know it.
We get enough requests through the Discord as well, or the comments, then of course we can try to address some stuff. But yeah, I think that we're going to mostly talk about principles while building things, little mini projects and animations. But we're going to talk about staging and storyboarding and audio and acting with characters and color palettes and all sorts, the stuff that nobody talks about very often, or they'll just say, here's the 10 things you need to know about this thing, and then you'll know everything. It's it doesn't really work that way. It's a lot of thinking that goes into planning stuff, and I think it's good to be able to see how that goes.
Yeah, although some fairly random stuff is happening right here. So I put that shadow on that acorn right then, as you saw. And then I forgot that the acorn is actually not working at all for some reason. Mask this layer. Okay. Can you see where it is? I can't see where it is. That's because I realized that it flipped. The acorn flips, so the shadow can't be on the top and the bottom at the same time. So I'll give it a different name. So I'm going to do a flipped shadow for when it flips, and try and get it to work. And I will stop saying
So you're
there
doing,
we go.
are you going to do 2 separate shadows, or are
Yeah,
you...
I'm going to do 2 separate shadows. That's exactly right.
So when
And
you set up this nut and it does that rotation, are you actually, is it fully rotating, or is it just sort of moving, hitting a point, and flipping for the speed?
Well, it's fully rotating.
Okay.
So if you would, here we go. Boop.
So does it make more sense to just to
Just leave
keyframe
it
the
like
shadow?
it is.
Well,
What would make the most sense would actually not to turn it upside down and just to have him munch on the top. But
I mean, there's only a couple of keys.
It looks more tasty if he's munching that part, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, you already have the shadow masked. Rather than duplicating it, why not just keyframe it?
Because it's going to be a different shape, and the keyframes won't really. I'll show you. If we go like this here, it's good to there.
So if you set a key there,
maybe we can. Let's have a go.
Yeah.
And then here, I just pull it down to there, and maybe it will work. Good idea, Dave. Smartass. Did I say that out loud? I did, didn't I? I did say that out loud. So apologies to everyone who heard that, because I've been accused of being abusive, and there's the evidence. There it is, right there. You've seen it here. It cannot be denied. It cannot be denied.
What you need to do now is say how you're sorry. I know that you're very Australian.
I'm sorry, Dave. I said the bad word. Oh, God. It's this all over again, isn't it? Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, no. Let's copy that and paste it. You know what? This is all a bit wrong, but it's learning. It's learning. We can learn.
Winging it. Our channel doesn't even have its own theme music yet. Well, not finished anyway.
Oh, I thought it did. I thought I heard a pretty good bit of theme music. I was surprised not to hear on there. Not fully finished?
Not fully finished. Because I wanted to maybe do the... Well, we'll figure out what we're doing in the storyboard for it. I think that might... Because it might do like some FX. It might just tweak the mix and the balance and all that stuff. Do a proper master on it. I think in the ending... some clangy pots and pans or something kind of fallen stuff sounds.
Why would we have that? We might have to play it in its current form in a second when we switch over to start trying to board to it. Yeah. Because that's what we're going to be doing. But what... I had a question. Forgot what it was. Okay. Never mind. Copy. And then...
You're saying back down. Why the ending? Because I'm thinking like if we're gonna do an intro, then we can have maybe the letters from ToonFeed fall in, and have them accompanied. Maybe it could just be that I just kick the drum kit over kind of thing, but there's not there's not really a drum kit, I don't think, in the rest of it, so it doesn't make sense to there's some timpani.
People don't know what you're talking about, David. They don't know. They don't know.
But we'll get to it. We'll get to it later.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Where are the birds and the crackling fire? Am I warming myself by this crackling fire? Is there?
Yeah, you can hear it on the stream.
You can hear it. Oh, okay. Stream. We should have a stream running through there, but we put the fire out, wouldn't it? All right. What have we got here on this squirrel before we leave him? He's having a little bit of a look. He's looking around. He's looking a bit furtive. His tail isn't very good. And I was going to do that arm, because the arm isn't very good. And then I could probably do a shadow on the arm. Quickly do an arm. All right, acorn, shadow. That was all very unnecessary. No one's going to ever notice that that didn't have an acorn shadow, I hope. Anyway, let's have a look. Arm A. So I like to call things A and B for the front and the back, because F and B is just F and awful. So I use A and B.
And not left and right?
No, because what if I flipped it?
Mm-hmm.
What if I flip the whole squirrel? Then it's not left and right anymore, and it's going to confuse everybody. So, and especially me, I get easily confused. So I go A for front. I know people who've used upstage and downstage, and that is a nice idea. But I'm a simple man. That's what I've been told anyway.
I think that's I see that most difference in rigs between like 3D and 2D. Like a lot of 3D models, they'll just use left and right because they've got the 3D model, and they're not really flipping it in the same way usually.
Hey, look! I've found something I didn't realize I'd done on this. When did this? Oh, look at that! That's an interesting look. That's what I felt like when I woke up this morning.
That's pre-coffee.
Now let's try and fix that up, because I've got the animation. I've got allow frame skipping, and I'll turn the bone dynamics off for the moment, shall I? Oh, did that do that? No bone dynamics. Let's go back to the beginning. Play. The bone dynamics are still going. Okay, well, I'll live with that. But look, I seem to have made a smart mesh here. I don't remember. But is there an action for that? Why is there a smart mesh? What is it doing? Obviously, is it even... I don't remember making that. It's not seems to be glued to anything. Maybe it was an experiment to show people how you can make a smart mesh. Never mind. It's all going to be a memory in a second, because we're going to make a new vector arm. Don't know why I'm doing this. No one will ever see it. It's a tiny little arm. Let's forget it. We're going to not do it. We're going to jump into the other program and get on with things. And,
know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yep, that's right. We're folding right now. So have I even got Blender? Yeah, there you go. Blender. Bring on the Blender. So what's happening here? It's going to be a storyboard. And I normally would use Storyboard Pro, which you can't see there because it's in my bar. But Storyboard Pro, very, very expensive program. Even an update cost me $1,200 last time I did one, and that was just to get rid of a crash. I don't remember it having many new features that were useful. So maybe people don't want to do that, but it is necessary for the biz. People in the biz, they have to use that, even if they draw it in Photoshop. Someone normally comes along and puts it in Storyboard Pro because it's got all this other stuff that programs like Photoshop and even Storyboarder don't have, which are... Oh, now I've accidentally slipped into the foreshadowing what's coming up later, and I was talking about it last stream, but I shouldn't do that. So I'll skip that, and we'll go to start a new storyboard by doing this. It's in drawer. Don't know why it's in drawer. Drawer is a weird place to be. Do you think drawer is the right word for that?
I mean, Blender just does Blender the way Blender does Blender.
Yeah. I think they're open to suggestions, though.
Oh, of course they are.
But anyway, storyboard session. I think I made a note of an idea what it could be better called. But is it written down anywhere? Did I write it down? Never mind. So that was the storyboard, the story pencil button, and it's going to really make things much more better for storyboarding, because here you have the video sequence editor, and you can do this stuff. I've got to just quickly show off how good this is. So if I go to, I can add new scenes in here. Okay, let's call it car. I don't know why I'm calling it car. And there's a new scene here. See? Car. And then that scene there, which is called house. It's not going to be a picture of a house, I can tell you that one. But so you've got two scenes, but if I was to want to draw in that, I go to edit it, and it jumps into this. So I will just draw a quick picture of a house, because that's what we decided it was going to be. Look at that. Oh, just can you see the house? Can you see the house? Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, right, that's that house. But then we go back to the VSE, and there's a house there for one panel. Why? Not a good ad for this feature if it fails. Where is the view settings? Here, view. This should be on rendered. There you go. And then we cut back to that one. This one's going to be car. Now, if I want to edit that one, edit. It's going to be a car. Oh no, I can't draw cars. Here we go. He says, and then draws a car. Oh, what a great car. Look at that. Isn't that a great car?
Not better than the Cybertruck.
Oh, I like the I don't really necessarily like Tesla, but I like the Cybertruck, I've got to say. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to get involved in that. Look what you dragged me into, Dave. Back to the VXC. And then we have a car. For some reason, the strip, is it material preview? Is that the better view? There we go. So now we've got a storyboard. But the thing is, in each scene, we can go back to this and say, I go back to edit, and I could actually have this on a new layer. Let's go to this grease pencil and layers, lines. And I put another one, and this will be what might not normally do it like this, but there's a what's this going to be? A squirrel, because that was the theme of before. So just I'll draw a squirrel, giant squirrel, right? Really nasty saber-toothed squirrel. Approaching the house, because it's the midnight squirrel. This one, really.
Definitely an angry squirrel.
Hang on, that should be on the house layer, because it's a weird squirrel. So someone turned into squirrel, and now he's going to go. So if I go up, I can actually make this animate. Do panels, like, and then they all get kind of contained inside this scene here. Excuse the drawing. It's see this? I should lock those other layers there. Right, because otherwise the eraser under this setting will erase those things too. This is getting scary. Look at this squirrel. I think it's going to attack.
Either that, or
because-
just transform into a person and walk into the house.
but then there's someone here, like just looking through, and they're like cowering behind the door, So it's pretty terrifying. Imagine, this situation, like that. I don't like that position. So let's go to. Don't make me make those jokes, David.
Contain yourself.
All right. Okay. Edit mode. That squirrel was a little bit in an awkward position, so he's gone up right to there and now causing a lot of worry for this person here, because that's a big squirrel. I mean, if you've ever seen a squirrel, which I haven't for many years, you would know that they're terrifying creatures, any size. Rescale, but there you go. Not a great drawing, but that's not the point, is it?
I mean,
what we're doing
it's
is
not
telling
really
a story. As we're telling a story, and Storyboard, Story Pencil is letting us do that. So now go back to the sequence editor, and we've still got things. Well, and you can see how it works. This is pretty good. It's like a proper storyboard program. All you really need is things like enumeration. You know what I mean?
Well, funny about that. It's almost like we've been working on a tool that could be used for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Okay, so
done.
This is the thing that you're really paying the big bucks for, is this in your enumeration. Because imagine if you changed this and you had a lot of shots going, right? And there was a lot, and you took out a shot, and then you'd have to renumber 80 pictures. That would not be much fun, and if you don't do it, the production falls apart, right? So you'd have to renumber all these slates, but not with this system. Enumerate again, and that's shot one, that's shot two, and numbers taken care of, right? So anyway, we're not going to go on too much of a deep dive today on this. We'll do it another time. But Story Pencil is good, and you can do it. It's going to make a big difference to people, I think. Actually, we'll just add a caption. Let's add a caption. What's he's saying? Not nerds. Nuts. Nuts. Okay, and let's align that to the scene. There we go. And that makes perfect sense. I don't really like how that says. Let's give it a new style. Apply to all. That's a bit clearer. I'll go for actually.
So what do you think are the main benefits? Like, I know that in its current state that there's a little bit of a ways to go, probably, for Grease Pencil to be sort of accepted by the industry standard stuff. But what do you think that it's really missing compared to something like Toon Storyboard Pro?
What is it missing? Well, this for a start.
Well,
actually, it's what it's not missing. Because in this program, you can come along and do, even better than you can in Storyboard Program, because in Storyboard you could say, well, you can add 3D elements to it. But have you ever tried doing it in it? It's a bit of a joke, I got to say. But in here, you can just, you can do it so much more easily. And see, this is one of the things we'll be doing the Storyboard in ToonFeed, is people are going to be teaching me how to use this program because I'm confused by it and I can't really do things very well in it. But let's have a look. If I was to add a cube, and let's turn that cube so we can see that it's a cube, and let's move that cube. Let's actually make it smaller. Here we go. Then we put a cube in the scene, like right there, and then, like, how hard was that? Not very hard, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, even to even if you're not like a 3D modeling whiz, and it doesn't take long to mock out a scene with primitives, just blocks and spheres and cylinders and things. Like, you can block out a pretty decent scene to get the idea of like the perspective of a shot and things like that. And you can also, and I don't know how much you've played with this yet. Have you done any like sort of drawing in 3D with Grease Pencil, where you're sort of moving the cursor around different depths and stuff?
No. So luckily we're going to have some guests on to explain to this noob how to do all this kind of stuff. It's strange that I've managed to make an add-on for Grease Pencil, even though I don't know how to use it and I can't program. This is strange to me. I think I must have had some kind of episode where that happened. But yeah, proper experts will come along and tell me how to do that stuff, because it sounds really good. Like, I click on that Grease Pencil and it shows me this. Mm-hmm. I was expecting other tools to come up that were relevant to Grease Pencil, but it's got zoom to fit and camera flip. Why is that Grease Pencil? So experts will come in and maybe
the camera flips for when you're drawing, and you want to see the other. I know. It's sort of related.
I know. But people can explain that to me, and maybe some of the old hands of Blender, if they ever see this, might understand how it could be a little bit confusing for a noob, and look at different ways of approaching it, unless I learn that it's actually the best way.
Maybe that's what you will learn. Who knows? Maybe you've been taught bad habits, and this is better. Yeah, it's hard to say.
I doubt. Yeah, I've got lots of bad habits, and being rude to people is one. So
you got to stay Canadian.
That's going to come out as I learn to use this.
I'm sure that there will be UI cussing at some point.
Yeah. It's going to happen any second now.
It could be you or I cussing about the UI too. It's hard to say.
Yeah, and see how I wasn't rude then? See how that happened?
That's how you grin and bear it.
Oh God. Oh. I will bear that in mind. So, hey, look, here's this other tool I was mucking with. I'm going to what's that? Create plane for painting. Because I was told you can't just paint in bitmap. It's not a bitmap, but I think you might be able to do it. I won't press that button just yet. What's it doing there? It's not part of Blender. Anyway, let's ignore that for the moment. I want to go back to drawing, because you can't draw now. How do I draw? I have to go to there, to the stroke, and then I go to draw. Great. And then if I change to a different color, then I have to go to here, because that's the Grease Pencil, apparently, that symbol. Unlock that one, and I'm going to change the brush.
Do you think that a better symbol could be like an easel?
Oh yeah, what for the grease pencil?
Yeah, just
That's
like
a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea. I kind of like that idea.
because it's sort of like your sheet, your like all your tools mounted on. You know what I mean? Just like an artist's easel.
Yeah, because that covers all of the, because it's the surface you're painting on, it holds the surface you're painting. That's a great idea. I had another thing which was something else, and I drew it up, and I thought I was clever, but this is a better idea. But so if I was going to, do you know this, Dave? If I wanted to draw on that box,
yep.
How do I draw on that box?
Directly on the box?
Yeah, on the box.
Oh, super easy.
With the grease.
Okay. So I'll show you how to set it up. So what you're going to do is you're going to first go into... Oh, you want to draw... Sorry, with the grease pencil. Not on the box itself. Because, if you...
I've seen people draw on a box
you
with the
can.
grease pencil.
You can. But if you... okay, there's a couple things you want to think about before you decide on how you want to do it.
Well, it's not going to be... I'm not going to do a texture unwrap and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to draw...
You wouldn't have to... You wouldn't have to bother with that. But if you want to draw to that surface, I would make a new grease pencil object so that you can parent it to the box. So if you move the box, it will move with the box. Otherwise... it'll not be attached to the house. So yeah,
here's another thing I don't understand. It says blank or stroke. I always go blank because why do I need a stroke? But I see other people use a stroke. What's the deal there?
I think the stroke comes with materials already.
Oh well,
the default, the default brushes or whatever.
I don't. It's all good.
Yeah. You should be able to grab your... So you want to make sure that you're actually in painting mode.
Draw mode.
Draw mode, or draw mode.
Yeah.
And
is it up here? What's this stuff? What's that thing do? Why do the tooltips not show up when you're using a pen for ages? Hold the pen there. Add weight data. Nope. What's this? You tell me what to do. Where do I do? How do I do?
So what you want to do is go to the magnet. I believe there's like a snap tool down. Do you see where it says cursor? No, top bar. Okay.
Top bar.
Yeah. So
listen.
You should have. I don't have. See, I'm running the streaming software right now, so I don't have Blender up.
Right.
Let me get to big screen so I can see what you're doing a little better. Otherwise, I'm squinting.
Cursor.
My eyes.
Does it need to be in any of these tools here? Tool.
So go to
item.
No, you don't need any of that. Look at under maybe. So the way that you position the cursor in general is how you determine where you're painting. I think that there's an auto snap. But what you would do is you would go to the stroke.
You want me to turn the cursor on, so I need to see the cursor. Not a big fan of that cursor. So we're 3D cursor.
3D cursor. So click on the cursor.
I have to move the cursor.
Yeah, which I think is shift right click, or you can click the cursor tool on the top left hand. Like top left hand toolbar.
Oh, that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you want to set the cursor. It's already on surface project. So now if you were to rotate the 3D space for just a second, just to see, it should be attached.
Oh, okay.
Do you see? So, So now, when you...
So now if I go to draw, it's going to draw... No.
Should draw, yeah. You need to make a material, though. The angle...
Really?
Oh, you're drawing.
Yeah, no, it's behind the box.
Yeah,
Shouldn't I be able to draw this right on the box with the pen I've got
so
now?
at the tool up top.
Tool.
No, sorry, cursor, like the top toolbar. Top toolbar. So you should have, let's see, that. And go to stroke. Just see what everything is set to. Next box. They don't have it in there. Advanced. Guides. Maybe
It's fine not to know. It's fine because guides.
Yeah.
Guides. Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
There we go. Use snapping probably.
Use snapping.
Object.
Object.
Then select
object,
the cube.
Picker. I didn't use that. Do that properly. Guides. Object. No object selected using cursor. Object.
Cube.
Cube.
There. Now
what's that going on there?
It's probably, if you rotate, it's probably going around the center. So you also have that front X, XY.
Yeah. So you have to turn it on to make it work. Cube. Snapping. Circular radial grid parallel. What's So reference point. Okay, so this isn't going to be it, is it? Because it's going to snap unless I take the snapping off. No. I don't think this is going to be it.
No, it's not going to be in there then. Okay.
All right, let's forget this for the moment, but we can add the 3D thing, and we'll get someone and yourself who probably work it out.
I've done it before. I just haven't got Blender in front of me.
And it's probably some easy shortcut, like.
Oh, no doubt. I don't often use Blender for that.
Alt Control Shift Numpad 5 7 spacebar X, and then you're in. And if you didn't know that, you haven't been paying attention. All right. So anyway, we're playing. What are we doing here? We're
I think we were
meant to be boarding something.
Yeah, we
had a plan.
Intro.
Intro. All right. Well, we've had a look at this. Back to the VSE. Let's get rid of all these shots, and we'll start again. So, do you want to play the music? And I should import the music.
You don't even have it in the
be a guide. Yeah. So let's have a look. Look, I happen to have this open here. So, import.
You just add the music to, right to the strip in the sequencer.
Yep. I do it in the sequencer right here. So add. Great. Yeah. Oh, good sound. See, I know all about this because I wrote an add-on for it. I know exactly what I'm doing. Great. And where have we put it? It's not in here, is it? I'm going to go up and go exploring on the other screen. Now, you could play the music for the folks at home, because I can't play it, can I, without causing a lot of feedback or something weird.
Once it's in the thing, I'll just have to... The way it's set up, I'll have to mute you while it's playing. Or you'll have to mute yourself. It'll work. They'll hear it.
All right. So, I am looking for...
I try to avoid any unnecessary feedback.
Yes.
While we're routing everything around in NDI.
It's unfortunate that Blender makes you look through their own specific folder thing, because it's it doesn't look like how I've set everything up, so I know what I'm looking for. Anyway. Blender. Oh, no, that's just wrong. Oh, my folders are all carefully marked with special color coding. I find it difficult to see around. excuse me. You entertain the troops while I search for these things.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I think that some of what we're going to do on this channel as well, at a certain point, is we're going to talk about some of the other production bits that go into planning stuff behind the scenes, maybe even some of the audio stuff. The music that we're going to be using is sort of placeholder. Literally, I don't know, how long was I writing that and recording it? Maybe 30 minutes or something like that. Pretty quick.
Yeah, you did it pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, just getting some music put together, maybe how to mix stuff, like mixing sound effects in, getting vocals to sit so that they're not competing with all your background noise elements. Because I do see semi-often when people are just getting in, especially if they're not like doing major studio stuff, right? Like they're just doing their own projects. Audio is often unbalanced, right? Just like the vocals are too quiet, or every person is a different volume over time. And so having even some basic ideas, because even with free software nowadays, if you know how to use a compressor and a gate and set the settings properly and meter everything right, if you go about it, you can get stuff to sound pretty good even with free software. So might be good to go over that kind of thing.
I'll tell you something would be good to go over. How do you show this the waveform?
Waveform is...
I think I've done it before, but I can't find it right now.
I think it's in the view. Under view, I believe. You're in the video sequencer. Does it show that? I believe it does. I'll find out for you.
It was probably deemed... display waveform, I found it!
Oh, good.
It's over here in this thing.
Oh, that's right. Side toolbar. It's in...
What I find in Blender is that instead of having many ways to get to the same place, it's only got one way to get there.
And I think that to show the waveform in the dope sheet, it's not the same. You have to do it in the view menu or something. So
right. So you've got view here. Why was it there? But it's not here. It's display waveform, which is, I understand why it's here. But
yeah.
Interesting enough, you have to go and maximize all this just to see what that word. It was strip, but I had to go. In fact, when it's in a useful size, you only get to see the word, the letter S. Of course, I do have shot flow in there, which is cramping it in story pencil. But anyway, okay. Will it play? Oh, and if I play, I have to mute me if I play this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you have audio coming through yet. Did you not set the thing to share your system audio again?
Okay, what did I not do? Let's have a look.
Is your screen share set to send system audio? Or did you...
share computer sound is off.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, well, I'm going to have to do something spooky here. I know. That for a second, and then back again. Okay. Now,
Yes.
so what's the deal? This is at ToonFeed. We've got a funny little scenario, and we've got hunters and fishermen, a couple of idiots, off to and we're going to shoot it all in. Obscure these people because we don't really care. We're just going to see their hands, their guns, their feet, walking into the forest, and they're having a lovely old day, aren't they? Oh, and now I've got to mute me before you play this, because otherwise, what happens? I go echoey. So. Great. So you get the idea that they're walking off in the forest, and it's all very entertaining until they spot a little orange little ears and tail in the forest, and they point at this thing, and it's who is it? It's the little fox, and he's in trouble now. He's been spotted by the hunter, and we see him hiding up against the tree, looking rather sneaky, looking like this was all part of the plan.
Oh, okay.
Because they picked up their fishing rod and their blunderbuss and their picnic baskets,
and then just sort of
from the back of the car and wandered off into the forest, having a jolly old time to this music. But
then
the fox gives the signal,
and then we just get the looming sort of shadow of the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right.
And
was your Skype face come up on the screen? And that was interesting how Skype does that to you all the time. So what we're going to do is board this, and let's go through. So we're in the BSE, and let's add the first strip. So we'll go to shot flow. No, we're not. We're going to go to Story Pencil, and we're going to add the first scene. It's defaulting to 2 seconds, which is fair enough for now. So let's name this scene. I don't quite understand. Oh, okay. We'll just use the base scene, whatever that is. And we'll render path, don't worry about that. And we will name it. We'll rename it after it's made new. And it will be called... Actually, how are we establishing? Okay. So, and let's make it...
So maybe we do... I don't know what time of day. I assume we do maybe an establishing distance shot.
I think it's an afternoon.
Yeah,
it's an afternoon.
Nice afternoon. Maybe the sun's just starting to go down. They're off for like mid-afternoon, early evening walk.
Yep.
And if we can time it out so that when the music hits that final note where it's probably going to go all cluttery for the logo to come in and transition into the main layout.
Mm-hmm.
Right before that, that's where we get, after the bear looms in, they just both dive, and we maybe do one of those cartoon smoke fight things to clear way for the logo. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What I might do is just do this in thumbnails for the moment, right?
Yeah.
So let's go down, and the trees go up. and the arrow of the camera is panning down. Just as, let's make it a truck. One of these American trucks comes rocking up. Here we go, and it's driving in. It's making a hell of a lot of smoke while it goes. And let's draw. I can draw. Apparently, I've told myself many times.
It's one of those little trucks. What are they called? A ute, maybe? No.
It's a. I don't know what. There's a very specific big. It's an American truck. Anyway, doesn't matter.
It's a Ford.
American looking truck. It's Australian. They don't do these ones very much, so they're doing them more these days. But it's more of your North American, because people don't go shooting animals in Australia very much. It just, unless they're after pigs, and then you won't see any trees 'cause it'll be out where there's just pigs and stuff. All right, here comes the car off, and we've established that there's a lot of smoke. So we're panning down. We might actually, I think, let's bring this up and give one more. If I turn the onion skin on, I didn't even do that. Onion skin, please. Onion skin. Thanks. Onion skin. Maybe it doesn't give it to you until you're in that mode. Is that right? Do we know?
Isn't it doing it right now? Like the onion skinning.
That looks like that's onion skin, but it's only in viewport shading.
Your onion
and in material shading. It does it in there. So, okay. So first of all, let's start with the basic tree tops, and the sun is going down a little bit. They've left it a little bit late in the day.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be half drunk, I've decided. Because why not?
Consequences.
Consequences, yeah. What did you call them?
Well, I'm just saying, they don't drink and drive or you might get eaten by a bear.
Yes. Okay. Let's give this some kind of folder. I've already made it too complicated for us. It's meant to be simple.
You know what? This is a good part of the process because we can sort of deliberate on what's easy, what's not, what we can replace. Go through the board, lock it down. Once it's locked down, we can build the scenes, and each scene will be content, right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't like playing through that very much, did it? What's going on there? Is it the view? We don't get any view options in the video sequencer. It's for some reason. Here we go. View is stuck over here. Luckily, it's on material preview. If I go to solid, it gives us the line. But look how it's not the right texture. Rendered. That looks better. Okay, rendered looks better here. So let's add a new. That's pretty rough stuff, but new. I'm going to go tire because.
Well, I assume that you're sort of thinking through the story, getting some loose panels in, and then you retime it later to the music.
Yes, exactly. Well, we've got the that's the boom, 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 right?
Yeah.
So that's the start of the second verse. So I put a marker in here. Marker, add marker.
I assume that you have, when you're playing this, they'll be able to.
I haven't really played. We should just like do some cool things that we think would be really good and place them around, and then fill up the rest. You know. So let's go and edit this, and just be quick now. So. They rock up. That's good enough.
So maybe when the bass kicks in, maybe this is when they sort of you get sort of the view, the low cut view, the bottom half of the wheels in the truck, and you get sort of the boot stepping out of the truck kind of look. Maybe even shot underneath, so you see them getting out, just the feet. That'd be the moment
I think
they start walking.
That might be a little bit a long time to.
You think?
We want to get into it a bit quicker. Even showing this much is dragging it out a lot. So
okay. So maybe then they should be getting out of the truck, and the boot should touch down when the banjo kicks in.
I'm not right now. Let's just get the beats.
Yeah, fair enough.
Of the thing. So.
That way we can play with the
I was going to have
afterward.
a boot opening, but let's just get some cool moments. So new. I'll just call it blank. Okay, and we're going to just call them all blank from now. We can rename them after. And edit it. Oh, wrong one. Go back to VSC. Edit. Okay, that was a bit awkward. So, shots like getting the fishing rod out of the... oh, that's not a good picture. Like that. There you go. Make it look like a fishing rod a bit. Gets the fishing rod. Maybe even another one might be getting... Is there anyone watching this, by the way?
I think there's at least one watching person.
Okay. Keep an eye out for any people talking.
I'm being a bit quiet because there's some background noise. I think somebody's decided to mow a lawn or something. I think the mic was picking it up, so I'm going to mute for just a minute while they move away.
Top chat. No one's here. 2 watching. Is that just us? I think that's just us, mate. What time in the night for the world is this? That's probably a problem. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. I don't know if anyone's going to be watching. London, 3:40. I don't know what day it is there. I think it's 3:15 on a Friday afternoon. Yeah, 2:15 in the morning in New Zealand. So pretty much everyone's either at work or asleep. So anyway, we should make sure we do streams at a better time. But being in weird parts of the planet doesn't help.
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
That's my bad.
Yeah, but we'll try some different times, and we'll see what gets the best interest. We can keep track of that.
I should have done the truck in 2 in a separate drawing. But anyway, and here we go. Here comes the gun.
Yeah. Oh, look. See, we have somebody in the chat. They're just too shy to talk because you're grumpy.
3 watching now. There's 3 watching. but they weren't a second ago. That's not what a gun looks like, and I will accept any criticism about that.
Yeah, well, we're not allowed to have guns in the Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth? No. I don't like that drawing, so we'll move on. It's an idea. We can improve on it. That's not a good angle, but very terrible. But what we really got here is things unfolding. And new blank. I'm going to call them blank. That's good. Maybe to get
So
this...
we'll need some driving sound. We'll need maybe some cars, like brake screech, little brake screech for the car to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Some kit rustling stuff for the sound of the gun and the fishing line being picked up.
It does help if you know how to draw. And I used to know how to draw, but then I went to a party earlier tonight, and that's kind of messed that all up. Because I have a strict rule, which is don't drink and draw, and there I am doing it in front of people now. Luckily, no one's going to be watching. Does this even get put onto YouTube afterwards? Because, it's pretty shameful. I saw that. Did you see that? I drew a thumb on the wrong part of the hand. That's a cardinal sin. Is to... I don't like that. Back. Because you hold a gun. You don't hold guns here, so don't really know how to do it. Why are you drawing something you don't know how to do? Okay, here we go.
And this is one of those moments where reference comes in handy.
What's reference? All right, here we go. Yeah, that would be better if it was a good drawing. So
figure out making the good drawings later. That's a different stream for a different day. That'll be the stream where Chucky goes back and looks at all of these drawings and goes, "What was I thinking? This is awful. I'll have to redraw it all."
Yes. Oh, look, the shame tomorrow will be quite the thing, and I think the walk of shame. Yeah, I'm not even timing this out, but we can't listen to it, which is going to make things difficult. So,
well, you can listen.
They head off into the wood, but not. I have to turn.
No, you can listen to it all you want. They just won't hear it as well.
Oh, okay. So I can play it, and they won't hear it.
Yeah, they may hear it coming through your speakers a bit, but it's not.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, this is good.
If you want them to hear it, we can switch that on, but
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You don't have to leave it off.
Right. Okay, so the foot walks through, and
oh boy, what's he stepping on?
This is just a leaf.
Oh, okay.
It's just to make it represent,
He's going into the woods.
He's going into the woods, and he's doing the thing that people do, is just leave a trail of... Sure, it's a dead leaf. It's not really the end of the world that a dead leaf gets trodden on.
Is this two hunters? This one guy?
There's two hunters. There's a fisherman and a hunter.
So
because if we go back to the forest.
If we go back to the shot where you have the guy holding the gun,
Well, I was thinking we could go back to the forest and show where they end up.
Oh, we can do that, but I mean, if you scroll back to your drawings that you already did,
Yeah.
to where you have the guy with the gun. So we sort of established there's the truck, and then they pop up. There's one guy grabs the gun, the other guy's grabbing the fishing rod, right? I'm assuming. When you get to the one where it shows the guy holding the gun, maybe it'd be good to do a sideways pan towards the guy holding the fishing rod, so they're standing side by side. That way, kind of get the idea that there's the two of them.
Or even this. How about this? First, the guy with the fishing rod walks through, and true Spielbergian. I know that sounds a little bit ambitious for what we're doing, but you stack. So first of all, you have the skinny guy. I'm going to make one skinny, and he's got the fishing rod over the shoulder.
He'd probably hold it so it's going the other way. One hand over the same. Yeah. I don't know that he wouldn't be two-handing it like the gun.
No, he's not. That's just that's
okay.
Not his hand. That's a really well drawn spool. Let's call it a spool.
Gotcha. There's the hand. I gotcha. I see what you're doing now.
And I probably went in a little bit. I want to go in close because
I don't want to draw a bunch of stuff that we don't need.
I don't want. There's that. I don't want to draw a bunch of stuff, and also we don't want to show these guys,
right?
Because they're the villains, and not just that. They're not just the villains. There's other reasons for it. So he walks out of frame, boop, and here comes the other guy behind with the checkers and the firearm. Because I'm sure you're not meant to hold it like this, but these guys.
He's not very responsible.
Yeah. And in fact, let's have this guy. What he's got his arm up like this. Why is that? Why is his arm up like that? Because this is a good moment to use the edit. Select all of this. I accidentally made a new frame, but it's good because then I can use this awesome thing here, right? And I might even go back to the draw mode. He's got his arm up because he's a drinking. And then he goes through and then he goes through too. And then just have a great. All right, so back to the VSC. So do, and then it's a little bit sort of fast, but here we go, and out. Let's shorten that up a bit. We'll time it. Have a look at the timing. A sec. And then this was the boot. Yeah. And then I might even go back into the edit. Let's just see how. And I might make this longer. Because.
Now, do we want to maybe, from this shot, pan up after the boot's clear and have a bush, and you can see the eyes in the bush?
Something like that, indeed.
Right. Start the foreshadowing.
Great. Okay, so back to the VCE. What is that? Some kind of exam or something? Gun. Oh, this is a bit fast, isn't it? That's... Oh, that wasn't good. Not quite used to how
It seems
works.
like It seems like you could have that beer bottle hit the ground when the bass kicks in.
Or
it looks like
would the bass be? Yeah. But you're right. Let's have a look at how long the song is actually going, because it would be nice for the footsteps to match the bass, but the song might be a bit because we've got way to here, so might have to make the establishing shot way longer to get there if we're going to have, as soon as they start walking, could be then, or the feet. But yes, good point. I'm not quite used to how to select and move things. I will extend this because the establishing shot can be much, much longer, can't it?
Yeah, because we can do that pan down slower too, right?
Yep. Yep.
So you just like a slower pan down, and then the quick drive by. And I think if we do a slow pan down, then the fast drive by, it'll give it more of a sense of speed.
Yeah.
In contrast to the slow movement of the pan.
Yeah. In fact, which is a song, hold that sky for the whole. Yeah, and then we don't see the car arrive until the banjo starts. And then, great.
Perfect.
Can you hear that noise coming through?
Yeah, I can't, I don't know if the stream will be able to hear it because of the noise canceling, but we can kick it in after we get a little bit more positioned and play through it. And they'll get to hear how it syncs up.
Oh, what happened there? Where did all the pictures go?
You have to extend the length of the strip, I think.
Yeah, but that's the wrong. What is that? That's a bit of smoke. Edit. End. Strip. Oh, something mysterious. End. Start. 39. That's just the position of it. What does that line mean? Select.
That's the end of the strip. So you need to make the length of the...
But how come it's got all this black area there? What's going on with that? What's that darkness there? Darkness.
That's
Do I
where...
have to press the sync?
No,
update
you need to...
sync. Update range. There we go.
There you go.
That's don't really like that very much. Edit again. Okay, that's good. And then actually hold on the length even longer. Let's go all the way to 120. And then go back to the VSC. I think there's a way you can actually... There's 120 is there. There is a way of syncing things up. Show strip range, copy sync, ignore muted sound. Great. What's this do? Storage per strip cache. No. Strip alpha order Video color. No, time. What's this?
The duration, I think, is the one, yeah? But you can just update it for now.
Still a bit bad timing, but we'll keep. No. Yeah, I think have them start walking on the base. Oh God, what's that all about? The marker did something very strange then. Let's get rid of that marker. I don't know what that was about.
Getting in the way.
So slow that down as well. Oh, God damn it. Let's make this to about there. And then edit that. Getting bogged down. It'll be quicker than this, but but this is all new. We're all new babies. Well, I am a new baby in this.
Yeah, it's a good learning process, though. Because the tools are good, it's just a matter of getting the hang of them, I guess, and waiting for them to improve, because they're only going to get better.
Yeah, this whole storyboarding thing is a new baby as well, so
yep.
All is forgiven. Whispering. Great. I'll just extend that. Okay, so we can just, I think I'm working stuff out now about how to use this. It's still good to use the timing of the strips. There's something very good about how this all works. It's yeah, I need to slow that right down. That's good because we're eating up the time. The more we slow it down, the better. Right. Slow it right down. Get as much as we can from these moments. And edit. Sorry, folks, for the endless. Can I stretch this using something like?
Yeah, so I'll show you how to do that. So move the cursor to the first one, to the first.
Yeah.
Or to the one you want to stretch from, I should say.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
Okay, and then press
stretch
S.
it all there to S.
S on the keyboard.
Ah, nice. Thank you. Great. I should be asking more questions like that because you know a lot about things. Learning. See, you can learn too.
I know Blender generally, but I don't know the Grease Pencil as well. Right, but I'm starting to wrap my head around bits of it.
So why did that... No, that did something wrong there. Why didn't that go... Why is... What the...
You have to extend the frame range on it. So turn the frame range up here.
It's a... Oh, I didn't... Oh. Okay. It'd be really nice if they're linked together.
Turn it up a notch more, I think. I don't think you got your last frame in.
You're right. Be good if they were synced. Indeed.
I'm sure that we'll get something akin to that moving forward at some point.
Great. So, in fact, what I might do is the same kind of thing for this. And go back, edit, move all this up, and put this a bit further and have an empty frame here. Put this leaf in. And then so there. And that on the 122. Go back to here. Learning. Everyone's learning.
That's the way to do it.
And that goes up to wherever that was. Even more. There we go. Did that show the empty? Yes. Oh, yes. You guys can't hear that, can you? I'm so proud of myself. Why is that blank? Okay, let's go and have a little look. Edit. Because the frame range. And S. Oh, no, not like that.
Yeah, you want to move the cursor because it scales from the cursor.
Oh, I gotcha. Scales from the cursor.
Which is actually really handy because if you want to like scale something towards a point, then you can put the cursor in the middle and scale in towards it from either side.
Yeah,
so
right.
like it actually makes working with keyframes really, 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 really handy. There you go. That one needs to be extended as well. Or updated.
Let's see. Oh. In fact, I won't have them park. I'll just have them just drive past completely. I think instead of them alighting, I'll just have a sort of almost a mirror of the other shots. You know, like the foot passing and the actual driving, because it's like a bit of a repeat, I know, but we'll see how it pans out. Splash. We could have a splash. 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 It'd be nice to watch a bit of a splash.
Yeah, and then we can show people how to animate a splash later.
Well, or they could teach me, which
Could be.
I'm thinking it's probably more likely that I'm going to be learning from others, which I'm quite happy to do. Because this is going to be more of less me telling other people, but them telling me. How about that for a change? Wouldn't that be an interesting way to do things? Who wants to watch a know-it-all? Well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do because you need to know something. Okay. Yeah. And then this one, once again, editing. It was all a bit of a rush, but that's okay. Move this up, and you would start with the truck more empty. Might come up with something a little bit better for this view, but because who really wants to see the back of a truck?
Bump that last keyframe back one, or the thing forward one.
I might just take it up to about there, and then bing. Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah. I think that's that there and there. Popping back and forth. Oh, is okay. It's not as immediate as being able to draw straight in here. So, did you show the people where the hunters end up? Well, I just go to the. I've got to go pop behind the tree for a second.
Oh, yes, indeed. Where the hunters end up. Not sure. Not sure where they end up.
You've got back at the. Show them the campsite.
Oh, I'm on the campsite.
Oh, are you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're hanging out here by the fire as we speak.
Okay. Be right back.
Well, Chucky is. I can mute you. Yeah. Well, Chucky runs off. If anybody has questions in the chat for things that they'd like covered in the future. Then we can certainly figure out how to answer those. All right. No, you're back. There you are.
Yes, I'm back. All this moving the frames around. Can we hang out in the campfire for a sec?
Yeah.
All this moving the frames around is interesting because I've done it in other programs. Like, it's great to draw in Clip Studio. I tried storyboarding in there, but when it came to doing that, it was like, no. Better in Photoshop, better in Krita, but it's not the way to go. This is all much more better better for. I mean, you can see from the way those strips were moving around that you've got all these different layers and stuff. Sure, you've got, I mean, layers, channels. You've got them in Clip Studio, but these have got all the layers in them already, and
Yep.
it just makes it more manageable.
And it's really one of the, because I've done a few animations that needed to be time synced with some music in Blender. And
Oh, look, hang on. We've got someone in the chat.
Yeah.
What are they saying? Did you say hello to them?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, I'd like to say, easy to get into Blender, but it's difficult to know and understand how things work and how to use them in Blender. Well, Wiji 10, that's I totally agree. It'd be really nice. It's like a brick wall, isn't it? The learning curve. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. And Dave's helping me get on in with the program. And there's more to it than just the 3D stuff. In fact, I think the 3D stuff is kind of the easiest part about it.
Yeah.
The actual modeling. Like I did that years ago, and I made a character quite quickly with the modeling, and even doing, getting a good flow on the form and everything, getting a good edge flows and all those kind of stuff.
Sort of like
That's
laying
all
out your topology, doing all your retopo. Yeah, that stuff's not that hard.
I didn't actually do the retopology. I was able to sort of handle it in the build itself.
Oh, so you sort of you poly built, like poly modeled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in there's other stuff which are kind of peripheral to what is traditionally the central. But then texture that's as central as well, but because it's sort of a little bit peripheral, has been kind of left out.
Yeah.
And that's when you start going, whoa, why, and getting lost in the user interface. And that's the thing. You just get lost in there, don't you? So,
and,
sorry, I didn't see a comment before there, would you? I will put these.
But yeah, as time goes on, though, it's certainly getting better. And I think that the more people start using the 2D sort of stuff, the more time will go into sort of improving the UI and setting it up. So, like, I imagine before long you'll be able to do, have the strip and the keyframes and the drawing window and the preview window running in the same environment, all synced up without having to switch back and forth. I'm assuming that that'll happen. It's just not happened yet.
Yeah. Be nice to see it all come together, all come together. So what have we got here? I'll go back to the Blender, and we couldn't really call it quits there, because we got a little moment happening and we got things started.
We can resume where we left off next time and keep doing some more boarding.
Absolutely. And we could even advance this in the meantime. And, people don't have to be punished by watching the process of this particular one. Have it all thumbed out and maybe do some more getting into the actual drawing process.
Yeah.
A little bit more finessing. And we'll find some questions. Maybe we'll write down some discoveries of what we find needs answering. Like, what was that question we had before?
No,
we had a few questions that we didn't find the answer to, so we'll write them down and find the answer to some, and
Yeah.
and look for the answers to others.
So with what we have so far, before we sign off, if we look at the sort of shots and we think about, okay, well, what needs to be done? 'Cause I assume that some of these are going to be much easier to just animate straight ahead and just do the drawings. But there's maybe a couple of these shots that will be quicker to maybe pop into Moho to do for just the shot and import the shots.
Yeah. That's some good old Blender 4.73 stuff, which he says. Not sure exactly what he's referring to is the modeling or the I think he's talking about getting lost doing the textures.
Yeah.
Or she, Widgie, they. Like things like this. It depends how well it works out in the cleanup of this storyboard.
Mm-hmm.
If the drawings look like they're almost ready to go in Grease Pencil, then I think this would be a good shot just to animate using
Grease Pencil.
Grease Pencil, using the edit and the sculpt. Where we go back into the edit. It'd be really nice if you could edit from. Wouldn't it be great if you could edit in here?
Yeah.
You could switch that window to the scene window. Actually, I think you can. I know, but and just keep this all here, right? So that it's not such a big. There is in Story Pencil, you can go switch or new window.
Yep.
If I go new edit here, and then I can keep both windows.
Yeah, you just need to split them.
But then there's no switch here.
Well, you don't need it, because if you scroll down now, well, you need to resize this window. So this is your main window, and you keep the other one sort of small underneath. Because it's a whole separate.
Yeah, so I put this one here. Okay. Oopsies. Come on. Snapping. Don't want it to snap. Not got options here. It's trying to force me. Windows, why are you forcing this? I could use... I'll set up a special power tools.
Just snap it to one of the quarters and then drag the side across. And then down. There you go.
And then close this and reduce that. That'll be good enough. And then got this here. Oh, okay, great. And I'll just... What I might do is just do the same kind of thing. Can I do that? Ding. Oh, what? That was an interesting one option. There. Great.
There you go.
Cool.
Now you can just...
so then I can maximize one and then minimize... Oh. Oh, dear.
Move that up.
So I would turn that off. So yeah, going back to the but where's the back to the VSE button?
You're in the other mode.
You don't get it.
You don't need it because you gotta
like this.
You gotta lay it out.
And then I go back to that.
Some people just use the second screen, right? So you have.
Yeah. So I not getting into complaining about that. But it's all good. It's interesting learning.
I think this is probably something that would be interest.
This would be great for Moho, but you'd have to rig it, and you could make it look really polished and great. You'd have to rig it, and it would take a long time to draw it.
What about the car? Would that be something that would be interesting to try to do an NPR object for?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Maybe we could box model a really simple car and figure out how to toon shade it.
Uh-huh. See, this is another example where you wouldn't do it in Moho because you can see the underside of the shoe.
Yeah.
Right, so that would be another
That'd be
one
a frame
where
by frame.
Yeah, this one would be also because it needs to be drawn. Now a wheel going through. Now it's. I think this is all going to happen in Blender.
Yeah.
In fact, we could get probably a truck from somewhere.
Oh, probably.
Probably a good enough free one, and maybe try some
NPR
of the line art.
Yeah, learn how to do the shaders, convert models into Grease Pencil, maybe.
Yeah,
do that frame by frame, and then fill them.
As long as it's quick, because otherwise I'd just want to draw it. Yeah. All right, I think now that would be a good place to leave. Are we back in the campfire zone again?
Oh,
that's nice.
Can be.
Yeah, it's nice hanging out in the forest, and those hunters made a good feed. But I think I'll have fish for dessert.
Indeed. All right. Well, I guess until next time, we can sign off. There's a link in the description to the Discord if you're not already in the Discord. And, yeah, feel free to pop in, leave some comments below.
Yes.
Subscribe,
and
like, thumbs up, all that good jazz that people tell you
thanks
to
for
do.
stopping by, Widgie. Will be more attentive to the comments next time. Maybe we'll have them flash up a little bit more obvious for us, so we can see them and respond to them straight away, and maybe fix the delay, because I had a very, very long delay going on here, and yeah,
we'll work on the
all right.
We'll work on the delay for sure. All right,
Okay.
A good one.
Well, it's been nice hanging out, Dave.